Hi everyone, so in this video we're going to go over how to build a single product page using Elementor and also a single archive page as well, or an archive page for all your products as well. So Elementor uses different template types to make it really easy to build your own custom page to display exactly what you want on your single product page. So what you want to do is go down to pages and you want to go down to this menu here and look for the templates tab. And you want to click on the theme builder tab here. And you can see the different theme builder options. What you want to do is look for the single product tab here and you want to click add new. So you can see once you've clicked add new, you've got a sort of blank version of the videos tab of the product page, and you can essentially just start building out the product page. So if you click on the section here and start building out your sections, what you can do then is go into the editor and you can see there's different sort of product widgets, and these are things like the product title. So if you click and drag on that, this is essentially a dynamic field. So instead of you typing out manually what the product title is, it'll just dynamically take what the actual name of the product, and this will obviously change with the different titles that you have, and things like you can add the breadcrumbs as well, so you can add that on top of the section, and then you can add the product images, so any product images that's associated with it, it'll show up here. And then obviously within that you've got different options, so you can set a border and you can do different things with the margin and padding and motion effects, things like that. You can give it a short description and product content. So if you remember from the previous videos on setting up a product, there was a large space text editor for you to add the most of the product details, and then there's the short description as well. So the short description content is using the short description tab. Then you've got the product content, and that's the larger WYSIWYG editor that we'd seen in the previous video, and then you can decide essentially where to put those bits of content. So if you want, you can add the short description here, and then you can add the product content maybe in another section at the bottom, because it is going to take a bit more space. What you can do is to kind of line things up, you can add a spacer just to add a bit more padding that way, and you can see I've lined that up as well. Another thing is important to add then is finally the add to cart. So this is essentially the add to cart button, and you can decide essentially how you want to show that. So do you want to show it layout, inline, stacked, automatic, and you can choose the button styling. So usually by default it takes the theme styling, but you can obviously go into here, the button, and you can change like the background color, border color, text color, you can change the typography, things like that. The add to cart, so because it's showing with this variable product that we initially set up, it's showing the size and the color options. Obviously there won't be any variations if it's going to be a simple product. And then with the quantity, then you can decide, how you want to style that. And with the variations, you can decide how you want to style that as well in terms of the label, the fields. So you've got good sort of customization options that way. Other things you can add are things like the additional information, and these are things like any additional color variations that they're having. If there's any specific delivery information, you can add that as well. And the other thing you can add then is the upsell. So if you remember from previous videos, you can set up different sort of upsells. So upsells is essentially encouraging users to buy a different version of the product that they're looking at. However, it's a more expensive version, so that's essentially what the upsell is. And what you can do is you can click and drag that onto the page, and that'll then show products that you've assigned as upsell products to this one. So when people are viewing this page, they'll see other products that are similar to this, but maybe a bit more expensive, maybe offer a bit more to the customer, and they'll be more inclined to purchase it. So you can add the upsells widget there. And other things you can add are related products. So you can add the product data tabs. The product data tabs are essentially the information that's in the additional information and any shipping information, so you can set it up like that as well. And then you can, if you want to, you can add the product stock. So this is a little bit of text that says either exactly how much of the product is in stock, or if it just says generically in stock, out of stock, on back order, things like that. And then the other options that you have are like the meta content you can add, product rating you can add, things like that. So yeah, you would just go in, design it like any sort of page. You just want to make sure that with some of the product content, it's set as one of these widgets, so it's dynamic. It'll change with every single product, and you're not adding any static widgets in there. The other thing you can do then is use the Elementor templates to actually just get a template product page that Elementor have already set up for you. So if you remember from previous videos, Elementor have a bunch of templates that they've designed and built, and they're all already mobile responsive. They look nice, and all you need to do is insert the template that you want and just change the colors if you need to, or change the content if you need to. So what you want to do is on the blank section here, you just want to click on the template tab, and you can see, so automatically it's selected the single product template, and you can see all of the single products that they have currently. So you can click into the magnifying glass for each of them to see a little bit closer what the design is like. So you can see this one, the meta descriptions here, images over here, short description, things like that. So you kind of go through, and again, just look at more the structure and the way things are laid out, because you can always change the color and typography and things like that once you've inserted the template. But once you've selected that, you just need to click on insert. And you can see it's now added in all of the options, and it's added all of the widgets the way we wanted. If you decide actually I'm missing a few things, or I need some more content, again, just like the old one, you can change the stylings. For example, there's a lot of padding at the top here that I don't like, so I'm just going to take that away. Same with the padding at the bottom. So you can customize it. So once you've added the product template, you can customize it to however you need to. What I'm going to do is reset the style on a lot of the fonts, because they need to match my theme, but the layout is still there, and I like the layout the way it is currently. So yeah, it's a good way to kind of, if you're struggling to design the page, you can then go in and just include a template and then just change it however you need to. It's already mobile responsive. Yeah, you just need to add your own content and then add your own sections if you need to, and then just change the content. But once you're done, you just want to click publish, and it'll ask you to select the conditions. So this is essentially where do you want to display your template. So you want to display this template for every single one of your products. So you want to click add condition, and by default it already includes products. But what you can do is you can have different templates for different product categories, for example. So for example, if you've got, like, say, a category for t-shirts and another category for socks, you can actually display a different template based on which category that is. So if you go into display conditions, and in the drop down you can see there's an option for in category. I think we've got, yeah, so there's a men's and women's category. So if I select men's, then that means this template is only going to be shown in the men's section, and any products that's tagged in the men's category. And then if I wanted to do something similar for the women's category, I would just add a new template. Go into the theme builder and add a new template, design that page specifically for that category, and then within the display conditions, then you just want to change that. You want to add in category product men's, but instead you want to add it to product women's. In general, though, it's just easier and for the product template to stay the same. It's just an option that's available if you do want to use it. And then you just want to click save and close. So now that template is going to be used on every single product page. If we go into the single product attribute, so this is the simple product that we had set up earlier. you can see the product's been added, all the images are here, and obviously the content has changed to what I had initially added. So it's the dynamic content is the title up here, the short description, the pricing, and the description here. And obviously it's not showing the variable pricing because this is a simple product. But essentially, yeah, it's a really easy way to build your single product page. And similarly, you can build the shop page using Elementor as well. So if you go back to the dashboard and then go back into the theme builder, what you can do then is go into something called the products archive, and then you want to click add new. And again, initially when you load up, you can see all of Elementor's version of products archives. So you can see they've got their own product archive set up. Or you can select, you can X out of that and just create your own archive. But essentially it's more of the same. So you've got the blank section here and you would just add a new section. But then if you go back into the widgets, you can see there's a new product archive tab, and this is essentially where you can add the dynamic archive content, things like the archive title, and then you have the archives product listing. So these are essentially going to show all of the products that you currently have, and obviously depending on how this looks, you would need to style it. So if you click into that, go into style and go into advanced, you can see the title is what we're looking for because it's the title of the product. If you click on that and just change the font size a little bit, you can either use a slider or you can type in the title, type in the size that way, and you can change the pricing size as well. And you can see that looks a little bit better with this one. So with the archive title, you don't want the archives word in there. It doesn't look very professional. So what you want to do is click into the title and then just click toggle the include context off, so it'll just show products. But what you can also do is, if you wanted, you can also just have it show a different name. So this will be shop. It doesn't need to be dynamic content because there's only going to be one shop page. And then again, you can add sort of regular item widgets as well. So if you wanted to add some text in here as well, you can. You just want to click and drag it over to where you need it to. For example, you can add sort of encouraging text to help the user sort of buy something, or you can add sort of shipping rules or things like that, or you can link off to certain products. But essentially you can customize this to however you want. If you click onto the archive products widget again, if you go into the advanced tab, you can have a nothing found message as well. And then you can allow things like order and results count. So the results count is up here, so showing all 2 results. You can decide if you want that to show on or off. And then what you can do is something called allow order. So by default there's like a sorting option, so people can sort by popularity, latest product, low prices, low to high. You can decide if you actually want to have that sorting option there or not by toggling this on and off. And then obviously you've got some styling options here as well. And then once you're done, you just want to click publish, and you want to put it on maybe like the shop page or all your product archives. You can also do it for product categories or any search result pages, things like that. For this example, we're just going to use the shop page, and we're going to click save and close. And this is essentially the live site. So you've got the shop page with the default sorting, price low to high, things like that. And you've got the select options here. That'll take you into the single product page that we set up earlier. So it's really easy to customize each of your pages and change the design of it if you need to, or even use some of Elementor's own design that are free to use within the license that you purchase. So it's up to you how you want to do this.